friends, and welcome to All the Things TV, where we focus on full living and goal getting with the grace and gifts God gives, and a focus on just small wins, simple strategies, and successful relationships. My name is Tiffany Jo Baker, and today I have with you once again one of my favorite people, Stephanie O'Hara. Hi, Steph.
Hey, Tiff.
Thanks for being here. I'm so glad. We're going to do part 2 so we can learn more about you. You know, we just touched the surface last episode with one part of your story, but let me remind people a little bit about all the things that you do. So Stephanie O'Hara is an American mom, wife, writer, entrepreneur, community leader, and advocate for women experiencing fertility challenges. So we talked a little bit about the fertility challenges last time and your journey with loss, secondary infertility, and then using a surrogate, which happened to be me. So I'm super excited to be a part of that journey and to carry your beautiful miracle twins, and what a blessing they are. So,
oh my gosh,
we are just forever joined, and I am
forever
so excited about that. But I wanted you to be on because I wanted to hear more about you, because I mentioned last time that you're just like one of the coolest people that I know, and you know, just such an asset in your family, in your church community, in your city and your state. You know, you and Dirk, your husband, being on different boards and fundraisers, and just have the heart of service and leadership in just different forms. So I kind of wanted to pick your brain and just get some simple strategies and hear more about the successful relationships that are in your life. So we mentioned you have twins, right? They're almost 5. Is that right?
Yes.
5? Wow.
Can you believe that it was almost 5 years ago, Labor Day weekend?
Oh my goodness.
How ironic that is.
How ironic is Labor Day weekend. Yes. So I've heard this stat, and so I wanted to say it. This stat says new moms change an average of 5.5 diapers a day. That's over 2,000 diapers a year, which meant when you have twins, you were doing like 4,000 diapers a year. Can you imagine?
Easily.
That it just blows my mind. So as a mom and a leader and an entrepreneur, do you have any life hacks or anything that you use to help save time or remember something or just do all the things that you do?
Well, I don't know if I have a life hack per se. What I would say with twins, can we just be real?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Ask for help. Raise your hand, my friends. Even if you have one child, one newborn, whether it's your first or your 5th. Dirk and I, we love to give, but it's very hard for us to ask for help. And so that was probably the most difficult thing I've ever had to do. But all of my twin mom friends told me, you have got to ask for help. You cannot do this alone. And so I guess my life hack would be Amy. Amy we hired her as a postpartum doula. And she would come over twice a week from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
So smart.
So that Dirk and I could get, a full night's sleep. And it was life-changing. And it was a sacrifice financially to do that. But it was so worth it. And we loved Amy so much that she still comes over and babysits. She's here right now so that I can talk to you all.
Hey, Amy!
So she's such a blessing to us. And so whether it's, a mom or a sister or a friend or someone that you hire, I would just say, raise your hand and ask for help. It's not really a life hack. It's just more of, a piece of advice, but that's what I would say.
I think that's so important because so many of us, would consider ourselves, especially if you're consider yourself a go-getter or a multifaceted mama, we put on that persona of I've got it all together. I can do this,
right.
And my life is busy and full, but yet I'm still doing all the things, and have this strong persona to where they think that asking for help is a sign of weakness, and it's not. It's not. Knowing where you're good at, where you're needed, how to multiply, how to, sometimes I've heard it said, you either have the time or you have the money. And so if you have the time, then do all of it. If you've got the money, then get some help, like
Amen.
it is, it's one or the other, and you go through seasons where your time is more valuable than the money it takes to do the thing. So really just figuring out what's more valuable right now, my time or my money, so that I can keep doing. And like sleep, how can you put a price tag on sleep?
You cannot. Gosh, if you can get one good night's sleep, a couple of times a week, especially when your babies are infants, it's just a game changer. So yes, I would say raising your hand, asking for that help. And the other thing is, and don't try to be perfect. You have to let things go.
I love that.
And, prioritize. And so you don't have to have a perfect house.
Yes.
And right.
Yeah.
And if you are worried about what your house looks like when somebody's coming over, you might even second guess, are they truly your friend if you're worried about that?
That's good.
So just, learning to let go of things that you think might be important, but really aren't.
That's so good, because I know that we're speaking to a lot of perfectionists and a lot of recovering perfectionists. And that comes with the territory, that comes with our house, that comes with our job, that comes with the persona and how we portray ourselves in the different areas of life that we're in. So I love that. That was one of the pieces of advice my mom gave me when we got pregnant with our first, was let some things go. And I was like, I didn't understand at the time when she was telling me that, but I quickly learned what that meant, and I struggled. And I talk a little bit about that in the first episode of my why for All the Things TV, of just how I learned the hard way of trying to maintain that persona and that perfectionism and all the things. So I love that. Let it go. So I have another question for you. So what is something that you always say, or a motto that you live by?
Well, I would say, to whom much is given, much is expected. And Dirk and I adopted that when we first got married. And we feel very blessed to be entrepreneurs and to own businesses. And in return, we like to give back. And so my heart, like you mentioned, my heart is in service. And now that we have the twins, I feel forever indebted, of course, to you, Tiffany, first of all, but also to God. And I'm just so grateful, and I want to pay it forward. And so I've really kind of parked my career, if you will, for a while, and have focused on infertility, as something that I'm trying to really focus on, and support women that are walking in my shoes after me, and to just be there for them and encourage them and empower them.
I love that. And you have so much to share. You have so much to share in that area. So I just love that. You mentioned entrepreneurship and how you and your husband have multiple businesses and things like that. So how would Dirk describe you in 3 words? And how would you describe him in 3 words?
Well, I asked Dirk earlier for his 3 words, and he said, let me look here.
Yeah.
He said caring, creative, and determined is how he would describe me.
Very good. Yep.
And then, there's so many adjectives that I could use to describe Dirk. It was hard for me to narrow it down to 3, but I would say, first of all, patient. He is so patient. Clearly he's married to me and puts up with my family. And Tiffany knows what I'm talking about.
Love your family.
Yes. We are a hot mess.
I love it.
And he is so loyal to not only me, but to everyone that he knows. He's fiercely loyal. And then, of course, last but not least, he's just so intelligent. He's so wise about so many things. And so that would be my 3rd.
Y'all are such a good balance. So even in your description of each other, you can see the different gifts and the things that y'all bring to the relationship. So how has that played a role in your business endeavors or entrepreneurship?
Mm-hmm. Well, Dirk Dirk said, he said, I'm the planner, Steph, and you're just ready to go. And he said a great balance can lead to great things. And so, he is the yang to my yang. We are complete opposites except for our core values. We are complete opposites. And it was funny because we went to Ireland last summer for Dirk's 50th birthday. And we took about 65 of his friends and our family over with us. And so, of course, I planned the party. And I looked over at Dirk the night of his birthday, and he wasn't out, dancing on the dance floor or anything like that. He was behind the video camera, just taking it all in. He likes to be behind the scenes. And I was on the dance floor.
Yeah, of course.
We are very opposite. But so in our businesses, he obviously is the one that handles the finances. That's not something that I love. It's just not. And so he's also a lawyer by education. And so he loves the contractual work and things like that. And I love more of the HR and the event planning, the marketing, and just, we both love people. But so we complement each other in that respect. So.
Yes, I love it. And you totally do. And you're just like a match made in heaven and so fun to be around. You mentioned something earlier about, just knowing what you're able to do in the different kind of seasons. I don't know if you use the word season, but that's what I was getting from it is kind of, if you're in the diaper season, there's only so much you can do. If you're in the building the business season, right now you're in a book launch season. So there's different seasons of life, right? So what are you just rocking it right now? What are you thriving in and doing really well in this season? And what are some things that and what's on the flip side, what are you overcoming in this season as well?
Well, I would say with regards to the quarantine, I'm rocking cooking right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I have really enjoyed it. I don't like the cleaning part, which Dirk does. So again,
perfect. Yep.
But I love the fact that we are eating around the table literally 3 times a day. Before the quarantine, we were so busy like everybody else. And I would burn stuff. I would forget about things in the microwave. Things would be undercooked. And this has allowed me to be more intentional about my cooking. And so that's a little bit of a random answer, but I would say that I'm rocking that.
Great.
And being a PE coach,
Yes.
We, I think one of the best things we can do is spend time with our kids outside. And of course, I always look at the weather forecast, and if it's cold and rainy, I just cry. How am I going to keep 3 kids entertained? But, we are growing a garden. We've installed a new tree swing. We've built garden beds. He built a cross in our front yard for Easter. We've done outdoor scavenger hunts. We've had to get pretty creative, just even like putting our toes in the grass and, just things like that. That's something else that I feel like, I've been rocking, I guess you could say.
Yes. We're all about like the small wins, the little things that really do make a difference, because it's those memories, it's those moments that really count. So I love that. And my family would probably wish that I would be rocking cooking right now. I'm actually on the other end where I'm like, I've designated Brian as the quarantine cook. He does not like that designation. He actually does better than me. But so, yeah, I'm not rocking that.
Maybe I should send him that recipe email chain. So one of the things that I think that I'm not great at, and this is probably not the best thing coming out with a book in August, I am just technologically challenged. And so, I had to have Aiden help me do my first Zoom. I can barely get through uploading a post on my blog. I can do it, but it takes me like 45 minutes. And so, I have hired someone to help me do
Good for
things.
you. Yep.
Let's be very honest.
Yep.
While the content is mine, obviously, I would never put anything on my website or anything that wasn't my words, but having someone help me to post those things and figure out the hashtags and all of those things, all the things. I need help with those.
Well, when you know your sweet spot, right, and you know your season, then it's finding those key people for your support team and the successful relationships to help you keep doing, So
Absolutely.
I just love that you do that and you're always utilizing, people around you. Again, going back to the advice is asking for help.
Yes.
I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I learned from surrogacy. Being a surrogate is realizing that none of us were created with all that we need to do all that we were called to do.
Mm-hmm.
We all need help. We all need people. We are relational, and God put people, our spouses, friends, family. He's given us each gifts, right? He says the body of Christ, some people are arms, some people are, different parts. And when it all comes together, it's just beautiful. So I love how you model that so well for women, that it's okay and that we need each other. And that you are taking the season to help other women who are going through infertility and knowing what your season is and just going for it. So I just love that. Well, if you were able to talk to somebody like right now and just kind of encourage them, a mama, a woman business leader, if they're just kind of struggling with letting things go or with doing all the things, what would you say to them to just encourage them?
Well, I would say if you listen to our first session of our vodcast, I talked about if I chose a character to emulate the Disney character, it would be Elsa from Frozen. And I would just say to you, let it go, let it go. Nobody is perfect. And the minute that we all realize that and stop trying to strive for perfection and just take a breath, it becomes easier. And things ebb and flow in life, and you're never going to have a perfect balance of anything. There's going to be times where you focus more on your kids or more on your job or more on whatever project you have going on, and that's okay. And you have to let the other things go and just do the very best that you can. And I always tell Aiden, we never strive for perfection. It's just doing your best. And some days that may be letting the laundry pile up so that you can get some rest. And that is okay. It's okay to raise your hand. It's okay to sit back and relax and just strive for less than perfect, which so many of us struggle with.
Amen. Amen. That was so good. Well, thank you, Steph. I so love having our time together, and it's just so fun.
Honored. I'm so proud of you. You're just such a mover and a shaker, and I'm just so proud to know you and call you my friend. And I just thank you for thinking of me and for having me on. Let's do this again. This was so fun.
I know we will. Totally. We're totally a good team. Totally a good team. Well, thank you, friends, for joining us here at All the Things TV. I'm Tiffany Jo Baker, helping you fuel and fulfill your faith journey through the ups and the downs. Now go do all the things that you're created to do with the grace and the gifts that God's given you.